Beautiful. So today in this particular training, we will be majorly focusing on something called as Excel. So we will start with Excel or we will start with Python. Okay, it's your call.
Excel is good to go, sir.
Excel. Okay, beautiful. To start with to start with Excel, I need to have Excel. So I have a web version. So let me open this particular Excel inside the web. It's called as 365. 365. I will try to share my screen. Okay, make sure everyone are able to see my screen. So today we will be discussing a couple of what I can say things which are related to our Excel. That is some basic stuff related to Excel. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you not only the Excel basics, but along with that, I will be also trying to focus on couple of other parts as well, like, how the data need to be in Excel. See, Excel as well as Power BI tend to match very much. And when we tend to get a data to Excel or something like that, we also have an option called as get data. Here we can actually, what I can say, insert data from any of the platforms. And along with that, this is only available with the new Excel file, the new Excel version. If you click on this, okay, there is an option called as query and connections. So it will actually open something called as Power Query Editor. Okay, so we will be discussing about this Power Query Editor in a detailed aspect when we are learning Power BI. But inherently, what I'm actually trying to inform or what I'm actually trying to say here is you have a data which is lying in a CSV format, JSON format, or any format. It need to be taken or it need to be bought into our Excel. Okay, you have various options here, okay, to get data into Excels. And after doing this particular activity, then what you are going to do is you are also going to do a process called as ETL. I don't know how many of you know about this. Extracting the data, transforming the data, and loading the data. Okay, so anyone who is from engineering background, majorly someone who is basically back from what I can say, database or data warehousing background, he know about what is meant by this ETL, extracting, transforming, and loading. So this is normally handled by your Power Query. We will have a dedicated hands-on session on Power Query when we are working with Power BI. But I'm just giving you a small identification. You have a data, you basically plug that particular data into ETL, okay, which is normally going to take care of your Power Query part. And when you are done, you basically pump that particular data back to our Excel. This is actually the workflow. But 90% of the people, everyone, even including me, okay, once upon a time, we used to get the data, we used to do all the transformations in the Excel itself, and we used to save it. Agree with me? We have never used this particular thing called as Power Query. Agree with me?
So ETL is extract, transform, and
Load.
okay.
What are these kind of transformations? Okay, there are various types of transformations. Okay, so you can basically do data cleaning. Number two, you can also basically, replace. You can basically filter. You can basically filter the data. And along with that, last but not the least, you have an option to basically, okay, format the data. What is meant by formatting? Formatting is basically my data type changes. These are the activities of your Power Query. Last but not the least, there is only one option which is left out, which is called as add calculated or conditional columns. Now I want everyone to go to Power Query. Okay. So in Excel, there is an option called as Power Query. I want you to basically go to that particular area. So anyone can share his or her screen. I mean, his screen. I will be able to navigate to the same. Anyone is trying to share his screen? So let me see. Do you have the access? Yes, you have the screen share access. Everyone do have the access to share his or her screen. Beautiful. I think you can open Excel, any Excel, any version of Excel. Oh, you have 2007. Oh my God, it's really old. You don't have, what I can say, Power Query. Amjad, how about you? Which is the version you have?
You have 2015.
2016. Beautiful. You can share his screen, share your screen, Amjad. 2016. Post 2016, this transformation got applied. Yes. Can you see there is an option called as, okay, new query. Can you click on that new query? Yes, yes, you can click on this new query. Yes, query options. You can click on this. Query options. Query options. No, not there. Okay, query options. Yes, that's the one. So what is actually happening is there is a Power Query which is open. I think only you can see your Power Query. Okay, standalone default. Okay, load first. Power Query editor. Can you go to the second option? Can you click on that? Can you click on that? Power Query editor.
All right.
Okay, so you can click on formula bar. You can click on all of them. Okay, show me the parameters and everything. Data
Yeah,
preview
because in
parameters as
layout,
well.
there are
Yes.
parameters.
Power.
All
Okay,
all options
and
have
say okay. Then say okay.
Done.
So now what is actually happening is you will be able to see something called as Power Query editor. Are you able to see, Amjad? I think Abhishek won't be. Just give me a minute. Bantu. Not there. I think you are not sharing your entire screen, Amjad. Okay. You can stop sharing your screen and reshare your screen. Please make sure you have to share your entire screen.
Should I share again, sir?
Yes, you can share your screen once again. Okay, I'm there to help you out. You can share your screen once again.
Actually, the pop-up is coming that you cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
No, I think I'm not sharing my screen. Okay. Oops, sorry. I'm really sorry. I think I basically did something mischievous. So can you reshare your screen once again?
I do, sir.
Please make sure to share your entire screen.
So this is my entire screen. Should I
You are
click
not sharing your entire screen. You are not sharing your entire screen. Okay, nothing to be worried.
as I can see the full screen is coming.
No, you are not sharing your entire screen. Okay, let me guide everyone how to share their entire screen. Because this is a really important tool. The reason is, further classes, we will be basically sharing the entire screen.
All right.
See, please make sure whenever you are sharing your screen, you always need to use the desktop. Okay, this particular option. Okay, give it a try. Okay, so when you share your entire screen, I will be able to see your bottom part, your date and time as well. Okay, I will be able to see it. So that's the reason I was saying that you're not sharing your entire screen. Can you give it a try once, Amjad?
I try, sir. I try.
I also gave an assignment to everyone. Okay, it was related to something called as central limit theorem.
Yes.
Okay. So how many of you have read about central limit theorem?
I had gone through, sir. So let me share this screen first.
I'm not able to see your screen. Nothing to be worried. Okay. So let me show you how the Power Query works. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. So I think you are taking a lot of time. Nothing to be worried. Okay. So I'm just going to go to Power BI desktop. And here inside Power BI desktop, okay, we have an option called as transform data. This is how the Power Query editor looks. Agree with me?
Okay.
Okay, this is how the Power Query editor will work. We will be discussing about this Power Query editor in a detailed aspect. Okay, when we get to our Power BI session. So there, okay, if you look into this particular thing in a detailed aspect, you have an option to transform the data. These are all the transformations which are actually available. Along with that, you can also add some columns like customized column, conditional columns, and so on. So this is the major key takeaway of Power BI. Power BI, Power Query. Similarly, you can also do data preview and everything that is also available there. Okay. So, in this particular session, we will be trying to understand couple of things which are related to our data. So please make sure we need to have some kind of data. Okay. So for that specific reason, let me share a data to every single person in this particular room. So for that specific reason, I'm just going to pop up a data. I will just say files. I will say from my system. I will go to my, what I can say, desktop. Okay. And provide the
Sir, you have not shared the screen with us.
Yeah, I know. I have not shared the screen. Okay. So please make sure that, I have shared your data. Okay. Try to load that particular data into Power BI, into our Excel. Or else what you can also do is you can just open the Excel. Okay. So even I do also have this particular Excel. Okay. So I want everyone to load this particular data. So meanwhile, let me go here. Let me say upload. There is an option called as upload here inside my this thing. Okay, or else I have sample superstore itself. Yep, this is the one. So I want everyone to open this particular data. Okay, everyone have a data something like this. Maybe there might be some changes here and there. So there is orders data, there is returns data, and there is something called as people's data. Agree with me? Just open Excel. You will be able to find it. Orders, return, and people. Got it?
So what I did, I went in new query.
Mhm.
Then I went to query option. Then I
Mhm.
went to Power Query
Can you
editor.
share your screen so that I will be able to help you? Are you sharing your screen?
I am sharing.
Okay. Okay. See, here, if you look into this particular data, you have an option called as external data. Can you see this?
Yes.
You can click on this,
Always.
get external data.
I
So
click.
what is the format of your data? Okay, look at this. What is your format of your data? So this is basically getting from, okay, other source. It is not from Access. It is not from web. It is not a text. You can click on from other source.
From other sources.
So if you click on this particular other source, you have various options which are actually available.
Right. From
Okay.
SQL.
So there is a SQL server, there is analysis, OData, XML, and so on. Okay. And right now you can use something called as from Microsoft Query. So you can just click on this Microsoft Query.
From Microsoft Query.
Yes, yes. So right now the data that you have is in. So we are not able to see your screen, sir. Okay. We are not able to see your screen. I'm really sorry. Amjad.
There are four.
Abhishek Solanki, are you able to see his screen? I mean, are you able to see his Power Query? No.
It's like blank. I mean, black.
I hope you are able to understand what I'm actually trying to say. Amjad, please look into this. Okay. So post completing your this thing, what I can say, training today, okay, you can understand how to share the entire screen. Okay, it would be really essential because the reason is, okay, when we are doing the training, when we are into this particular process, I'll be asking you to share your screen and everything. Okay, so you have an option, okay, inside data itself, okay, to get data from various options. Okay, right now, if I'm going to click on my Power Query connections, okay, I do have no connections, but okay, there is an option. See, what I was actually trying to inform everyone is, okay, we have this kind of Excel where Excel can be transformed as well inside, okay, without using Power Query. So you have an option where you can actually click on this and right click on it and say, delete the column. Look at this. I want everyone to delete the row ID. Okay, it's very simple. Just right click on this and say delete. Okay, adding to this, you also have various options. You also have various options. For example, let's assume if you have some data duplicates or something like that. Okay, you can click on this people, you can click on this returns column. You have some, duplicates values. How can I say that it is having duplicates values? The reason is, if you look into this particular part, okay, let me zoom my screen for a moment. Okay, this is repeating multiple times. Okay, if you basically look into this particular part, okay, this particular row number 4, row number 5, row number 6, okay, this is repeating multiple times. Okay, and along with that, you also have a column which is also saying, okay, yes, 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 for the same. So if it was for row number 1, if it was yes, and for row number 2, if it was no, then I would have told it as, okay, this is an important data. We must not remove the duplicates. So here, as we have the same values which are repeating, I am asking you a question. Is it good if we are going to remove the duplicates? If we are going to remove the duplicates, don't you feel that this particular data is going to be, sanitized? Because unnecessary data is going to be available in each single row. I can remove it, right? So these kind of decisions need to be taken only by an analyst. And he is going to consider the, okay, business manager. So that's the reason I just want to, give a small recap. Crisp DM. So everyone are able to remember something as crisp DM. So where in the first process, you are going to discuss with the business and try to understand the data and try to understand how we have to go ahead. Because only business can, give these kind of vital informations. And along with that, there are also some of common sense we have to use. So as this particular data is repeating, if I'm going to remove one single row, there is no loss. There is no exact loss. So for those kind of reasons, we have to clean the data. How to do the data cleaning? We can select the columns. Look at this. We can select the columns. If I'm going to click here, I will be able to select all the column. If I'm going to click here somewhere, I won't be able to select the entire column. I hope you are able to understand this. See, to master Excel, to master even Power BI, there are 3 things that you have to understand. There are only 3 things. Okay. So those 3 things are, okay, what I can say, those 3 things are: number 1, Where you click, where you are going to click, that is very important. Number two, how you click. So whether it is right click, whether it is left click, whether it is shift click, whether it is control click. So these are the only things that are available. How you click, either it is right click, left click, double click. Because if you are familiar with Excel, these are the only couple of things that you do. So where you click, how you click, and number three, what is going to happen? If you click. If you understand only these three things, where you click, how you click, what is going to happen if you are going to click, you master Excel. You master Excel. There is no need to basically, what I can say, get into the nitty-gritty part. So only these three things, if you look into this, and you will be able to get it. Okay, one of the really interesting thing. So for that specific reason, if I'm going to click here, I will be able to select the entire column. If I'm going to click here, I won't be able to select the entire column. So if I want, look at this, to select multiple columns, I'm going to use shift click. This is something most of the beginner Excel grads know about this. So now I'm selecting these two columns, and here inside data, look at this. I won't be able to see this remove duplicates anywhere. Look at this. I won't be able to see this remove duplicates anywhere. I'll be able to see remove duplicates only in one specific section called as data. So here inside data, you have something called as data tools. And here inside data tools, I do have an option called as remove duplicates. Here it is asking me, do you want me to remove, what I can say, remove duplicates in the column number A and B? Yes, I'm saying yes, I want to remove the data from column number A and B. So now I'm getting one of a alert. That is, I have something like 714 duplicates values and 216 unique values. Can everyone do this particular option? Can everyone do this particular process and remove the duplicates? Just say done as soon as you're done.
Sir, please could you repeat again? In
Amjad
data,
Ansari, yes. So what we were actually trying to help you out is we have to click on multiple columns.
okay.
Okay, using shift click. And then there is an option called as remove duplicates. You have to click on this remove duplicates. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. A pop-up box is come. Select all and select all.
Yes. What is that pop-up box is trying to inform you? That
All
is
of
saying how many uniques you have now and how many duplicates has been removed. Agree with me, Amjad?
everything.
So the data has been cleaned in your system. Okay. See, I think I'm not able to hear Amjad. Okay, so Abhishek, you just give me a confirmation if you are able to hear him. Let me also use my headphone rather than my this thing, what I can say, systems this thing.
There are pop-ups here. P53 duplicate values found and removed. 285 usually.
I'm not able to hear you. Just give me 1 minute. Let me try to use a different thing. Hello, I'm audible?
Am I audible, sir?
I think the speaker didn't get changed.
Abhishek, am I audible to you?
Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I think now you are able to hear me, isn't it?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sir.
Okay. So my thing is not working here. That's absolutely fine. So yes, you have 285 values.
Yeah, yes, sir. 285.
Okay.
Right, right.
285. Even I do have 285 values. Hope you are able to see. Okay, 285. Okay. See, what I was actually trying to inform everyone is, okay, here the whole process of the data cleaning, you also have an option called as clean. So let me go to my orders data. See, here in this particular data, if I want to filter some data or filter some value or something like that, what I can actually do is I can go to this particular filter, and here I do have a lot of options to filter. Hope you're able to see. Here I have various options to filter. And hope you are able to see there are some areas where, okay, it is concatenating. What is concatenating? It is basically, okay, taking less space. It is because it is trying to show all the columns. And there is also, look at this, truncating or concatenate, truncating where you are also not able to see the entire name here. So what normal people do is they basically go here and adjust this manually like this. Now let me show you a, what I can say, quick hack. What you can actually do is you can say Control A and basically go to your home. Here you have something called as format. Inside your home, you have an option called as format. So here you can basically say, I want my auto width to happen. So what if you say auto width to happen? Okay, all of those data which is having, concatenating or truncating issues. Okay, now data is not truncating. So this is something that you can actually do to see the data really well. Now, if you basically see this particular data, okay, you have various, options. So you can basically filter the data. Look at this, like the one that you want, you can basically select it and say apply. So you will be able to see, okay, a segment of a specific or a customer name of a specific, this thing. But this is something that I'm not interested. So let's assume I have a specific issue. Okay, look at this. I have something called as product name. So if you see this particular product name, there are also a lot of options. ACCO, echo. So this is the word which is available. Okay. And now if I'm going to say, I want to filter the data based on a specific condition, like, okay, if it is going to contain echo, or if I'm going to speak about mobile, look at this. So if I'm going to type mobile, I will be able to see only mobiles. A product name which contains something called as mobile. This is something that you can actually use. Or else you also have an option called as text filter. Hope you're able to see this. Text filter. So here in text filter, it is also having something called as contains. If it is going to contain, then only filter this data. This is also something that you can basically do. Clear and clear? Clear and clear? Any questions on filtering the data, cleaning the data? We have to address one specific cleaning part. Okay, we will do that later. Till now, filtering the
Can you
data.
repeat from product name what we have to do?
So you can basically filter the data, and along with that, if you want to filter the data based on specific conditions, you can basically do this. Okay, for example, if you want to see mobile, okay, you can basically type mobile here. Okay, only mobile will be available in this particular filter. Or else what you can also do is you can see text. Okay, you can say text and say contains. Okay, so here you can say mobile like this. So I was showing you some kind of options how to filter the data. Okay. Similarly, if you want to remove filters, you can again click here. Look at this. You can again click here. And here you have an option called as clear filter. So what it is going to do is it is going to clear all the filters which are actually available. Okay. I hope people are able to get this particular. So if you have any questions, let me know.
Sir, if there are multiple filters at one go, how we should do?
So you can basically select, for example, if I have multiple filters, let me add one filter here. Okay, I have one filter here. And along with that, I also have another filter here. Okay, this is office supply. Okay, let me go for central region itself. So number one, you can basically go here and say remove filter. That is one of the option which can be done. Or else what you can also do is you can select everything and say clear. There is an option called as clear. If you click on this clear, okay, it will be removed.
Thank you.
Okay. So along with that, we can also do sorting. For example, if you want to sort the data based on a specific column, you have an option, okay, to go for ascending order, descending order. Okay, you can sort the data. Okay, so we have two options. Okay, we found some data next to the section, which basically means just next to this particular section, we have some data. Do you want to basically sort all of them? Okay, so along with that, there is an option called as just sort. If I'm going to say just sort, only this particular column will get reordered. If I'm going to say expand and sort, okay, it is going to sort all the data which is actually available here. I hope people are able to understand what I'm actually trying to say. See, whenever we are speaking about filters, there is one caution which is actually being provided. There is one caution which is always being provided, which is actually called as something called as, okay, you can read about this, but I'm just going to give you a clue. I'm just going to give you a clue. Okay. So there is something called as global and local filters. There is a common problem of something called as global filters and local filters. Whenever you are playing around with this particular data, okay, you have to look into this particular part. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to teach you what is meant by local global filter, what is meant by local filter. It's a very easy concept. I'm going to give you an option. Okay, so you always need to be little bit of aware of this particular global filter and local filter. So if you want to be a really truly a good data analyst, you always need to look into this particular concept. Especially this global issue, global filter and local filter is going to be an issue when you are using filters on multiple columns. Then only this particular issue will happen. Issue of global filter and local filter. Okay. Now, as you have understood how to sort the data, how to filter the data. Now, for example, if I want to replace something, replace a specific value, replace a specific area or something like that. How to do this? So, for example, here I have something called as first class. Hope everyone are able to see this first class. So I want to change this particular first class to something else. So in that case, number one, what you can actually do is you can use something called as Control F. So if you say Control F, you have an option called as find. Just beside this particular find, you have something called as replace. So you can provide the value called as first class, and then you can provide the value that you want to replace. For example, I'm just going to say first class, something like this. I'm going to use my Control F. So here I have something called as find all, but just beside this, I have an option called as replace and replace all. I can basically replace the data. Whenever I'm going to find this, I can play replace. We can't find any match to replace. So it is saying that we are not able to find anything. That's the reason. I'm just going to remove this particular part and say replace again. So look at this. Now I'm able to see first class has been replaced. Now, many people do this particular mistake. Okay, and if they want to go back, they can use this Control Z option, Control Z. Okay, they will be able to do the transformation back. So I'm just giving you a small idea here on the cleaning of data. Any questions? I'm assuming there are no questions, but just give me a confirmation. So if you are done on this particular part, I'm just going to discuss something called as, what I can say, remove duplicates. Sorry, excuse me, so not remove duplicates. Okay. We have an option called as the conditional formatting. Okay. So the conditional formatting will be available here. Okay. I will be discussing about this particular conditional formatting in detail. And then I'm going to show you a really interesting thing. Then I'm going to show you a really interesting thing of something called as filtering. Okay, clean and clear. So now what I was actually trying to say is there is an option called as conditional formatting, and conditional formatting is of various options. So you can basically highlight something. You can add some data bars. You can actually add some data scales. You can actually add some icons and so on. So this is basically your conditional formatting. And if you want to visualize something, if you want to show something appealing to someone, okay, you can basically use this conditional formatting. Let me show you what is this conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is basically formatting a specific data based on a specific condition. I'm going to select the whole column and I'm just going to use something called as conditional formatting. So here there are a lot of options. I'm just going to use one of our option called as, okay, look at this color scaling. Called as yellow, red, okay, and green scale. So now if I'm just going to click on this, okay, I'm able to see anything which is going to be low. It is going to be denoted by red color. Anything which is going to be on a highest value, or if it is going to have a highest value, it is going to be in green. Let me click on this. Let me sort this particular data once. Largest to smallest. Look at this. Anything which is going to be largest, it is going to be denoted by green. And now if I'm going to go to the same column and if I'm going to sort from smallest to highest, you are able to see this is been denoted by red. Now many people might be saying, hey Sangmesh, what do I do with this particular red color, green color and everything? Many people might be having this question. Why do I do this? Number one, to show them that information, this is the specific value which is highest and lowest, that we do this. And adding to this, we also have an option to filter based on the color as well. Look at this. We have an option to filter data based on colors. If I'm going to click on this particular color, I will be able to see all the values based on that particular color. I can also go here and I'm just going to, clear filter. I can go here and I can say filter color and I can basically choose multiple range of colors. And along with that, I can also use greater than, lesser than, and all these kind of things. Average, below average, above average. That is also something that I can do. I'm just giving you a small idea here how things go. And why do we use this conditional formatting? And look at this, conditional formatting is of a very different options. So you can add some colors, bars, and all these kind of things, indicators and everything. And along with that, you can also remove conditional formatting. You can just click on this particular column. Okay, you can say clear rules. You will be able to remove it. Guys, if you want, you can basically apply this particular conditional formatting. Now, post this particular session, we will be having a small introduction on something called as Excel functions. We will have a small understanding on Excel functions. Okay. And when we are done understanding Excel functions, we will be basically going for the complete full-fledged Excel function in our next session. We will be trying to understand the entire part of Excel functions in the coming sessions. Okay. I'm just going to make this is going to be a kind of an icebreaker session. Clear and clear, guys. Clear and clear. Any questions?
We have to practice on this.
Sorry?
We have to practice on this.
Yes, you're absolutely fine. If you want to practice along with me, you can do that as well. I'm in no hurry. Okay, you can apply conditional formatting on a specific column. See, I'm a guy from psychology. Okay, meanwhile, you're trying this, I want to inform this. I'm a guy from psychology, and if you want to master Microsoft tools and techniques, there are two things that you need to be really good at. Okay. Number one is what you see. Number two is your brain. So inside your brain, there is something called as motor nerve. There is something called as motor nerve. Okay, that basically is going to be in your, frontal cortex. So that's your this particular part of brain. Okay, so that need to be strong. And the visual and kinesthetic. What is meant by kinesthetic? Kinesthetic means something doing, action by using your hands and leg. Okay, like the coordination of hands. So to make this particular thing to develop, you have to practice. So if you only see, your brain will get implanted with the process of what is meant by conditional formatting. But if you do the same within 24 hours, okay, you will be able to retain nearly, on an average, it is told that you will be able to retain something like 30 to 40% of the things that I'm going to say. Sorry to say this, only 30 to 40% of the things that I'm going to say you will be able to retain. Okay, rest of the parts, we are humans, it will get deleted when you sleep. Okay, so for that specific reason, revising once will make your brain, what I can say, understand the concept really well. I hope you are able to understand what I'm actually trying to say. Okay, so sorry to say, I have seen really experienced candidates. I have seen really, what I can say, seasoned people who have professional certifications on Microsoft tools. They have reached me out saying that, Sangmesh, I have learned this particular thing once upon a time. Now I'm facing difficulty. I need your help. Okay. So because seeing things is very easy, but when you try to apply it, it's different. Okay. So for that specific reason, see it, apply it, which will basically implant in your brain for a permanent basis. Okay. Clean and clear. So what we have learned now is basically sorting and cleaning and everything. Now we will have a small icebreaker session on our Excel part. See, what I was actually trying to say is we have a dedicated section called as formulas. See, one of the method is I can just go here, I can say is equal to, and I can basically write a specific formula like sum, SUM, something like this. And basically provide the entire data. I can do that. This is one of the option. But along with this, there is an option called as, okay, look at this. There is an option called as, okay, here you have an option called as insert function. I can go here, I can click on a specific function, I can say next. Okay, here what I can actually do is here I can basically provide the data, something like this. And if I'm going to say insert, I will be able to see the same value. See, why I'm actually encouraging, or even though you know a very simple function called a sum function, okay, yet I'm basically forcing everyone. Look at this, I'm using a word called as forcing everyone to use this. The reason is sometimes, okay, there might be some kind of functions which can be complicated for people. How many of you know VLOOKUP? How many of you have used VLOOKUP? Say they can raise their hand. They can raise their hand. They have used the VLOOKUP. So what you can actually do is you can basically go here, okay, and search the function. For example, I want to use a VLOOKUP. Something like this. So here you have various options. So the reason why I am, providing this particular option is because Okay, many people tend to do these kind of mistakes. Okay, they tend to miss these parameters. So for those kind of things, I'm just trying to help you out with this particular functions. So we will be having a detailed understanding on this particular Excel functions. So how we can use this Excel functions? There are Excel functions that can be used in two ways. Number one, we can basically use this Excel functions by basically saying is equal to and provide the function name and then provide the values. We can do that particular thing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adding to this, we can also go here and basically provide the column. See, what I'm actually trying to say is here inside a specific cell, you can use a function, or else in an entire column also you can use this particular function. So these are the two ways how we can actually use the function. That is something that I want to inform you. So there are a lot of functions which are actually available. Okay, there is something called as aggregation function. So this is basically your auto sum. There is something called as financial functions. There is logical functions, there is text-based functions, there is date and time functions, lookup functions, and so on. Mathematical technique and more functions related to statistics, engineering, information, and Q. So even though if you don't have any understanding, okay, on a specific function, you can just go here and say, okay, I want to use this particular function. Look at this. I'm just going to say I want to use a function called as if. Here, it is giving you a complete understanding how to use this particular if function. First, it is going to be a logical test. So for that specific reason, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, look at this. I want to use this particular row called as subcategories, which is equal to something called as which is the one I will use blinders, BINDERS, binders. Okay, please make sure you always need to use a double quote. So if there is binders, call it as yes. If you don't find a blinder, then call it as no, something like this. So this is one of the options that you can actually do, wherein you will be able to see for a specific row and you can replicate everything. This is something that you can do, but I'm not interested. For example, if you are creating a specific table, if you are creating a specific, what I can say, data. So I always ask or I always request everyone to use something called as format. So inside home, you have an option called as format. Okay, so that is basically called as table format. Format as table. Yes, you're absolutely right. So if you are going to say format as a table, if you are going to denote this particular data as a format, what is the option you are going to get? Here I'm going to create a column called as logic. And here in this particular column, if I'm going to do the same process, if, okay, this particular row, look at this, if particular row is equal to binders, call it as yes, or else no. What is happening? Every single row in this particular data do have the same. Now, many people in this particular room got some understanding, okay, how to use a function inside a cell as a column. And along with that, every single person also got some understanding on this particular format as table as well. So when we are basically working on with data or something like that, we always recommend you to use a table. Tables do also have a lot of other added advantage that I'm going to discuss in the later sections. Please remember, okay, about something called as format, table format. Okay. Can we take a off for the day? Okay. Can we take a off for this particular day? Tomorrow, not tomorrow. On Wednesday, we will be trying to understand the things in a much more detailed aspect. Okay. Any questions? Do let me know.
Sir, we'll get the recording when, sir? Today, sir?
Kamal will be able to help you on that. Kamal is the right guy. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you.